Vice President Dr. Yahya Touray and the Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Interior on Friday met the National Assembly Foreign Affairs Standing Committee to discuss matters relating to Gambian deportees from Germany. There has been growing concern about the frequent deportation of Gambian migrants in European countries, especially Germany. Details in this report. The three officials were invited by the committee to respond to concerns relating to Gambian migrants in Europe, especially in Germany, who threaten to repatriate more Gambians if authorities of the small West African nation are not cooperating with them. Speaking during the meeting with government officials, the chair of the Foreign Affairs Standing Committee, Honorable Yahya Jammeh, member for Woolly West, says despite the efforts done by the committee in engaging the German authorities in ways of addressing the migration challenges, he was surprised there was no reaction from the Gambian government.
That the effort that we have made in this committee, honestly, if they were backed by the executive, Your Excellency, I promise you that no Gambian will leave the German territory. Wallahi, no Gambian will leave the German territory. I followed this matter. The foreign minister would because the last meeting I had with the president was him, the Secretary General, and myself on this issue. I was able to go to the president once, twice, 3 times on this issue because the Germans made it very clear to us that if there was no reaction from the Gambia, they would pack everybody. And no one will convince me that they cannot do that. They can do it.
In response, Vice President Dr. Yahya Touray, who also doubles as the chair of the National Coordination Mechanism Against Migration, says her office was not aware of any development despite the committee's meeting with the president and other relevant stakeholders. She, however, reaffirmed her commitment to tackling the long-standing migration challenges.
The problem is communication. I'm not blaming anybody, but now that these things are put in place, if it has been brought to the National Coordination Mechanism attention, if that was here, by now we would have done, because he has given a very good report on that. 25% they came. When they came, they were all successfully integrated with their families. The other 20 that was there, we don't know. So those who travel, the purpose of having a coordination mechanism is to bring the actors, because various sectors have their own responsibility. So for proper accountability and transparency, the Office of the Vice President is coordinating these things so that we get to hear from all of them and come up with a synopsis that will give us a path of action to move forward. That did not happen.
Vice President Touray further indicates that some of the returnees were supported to integrate with their families, noting that the National Coordination Mechanism Against Migration was reinstated to spearhead discussions about the migration challenges with relevant stakeholders.
Because you've gone to see the president, you have spoken to the president, and the team that you brought together are the right people to be there. The Minister for Foreign Affairs is there, the Secretary General is there, but it did not filter down to me. And if it did not filter down to me and it did not filter to the National Coordination Mechanism, there is nothing. I cannot call a meeting to say, let us discuss this. Wallahi tallahi. If this was brought to my notice, immediately you come, or you give it to me even informally, I will do something out of it. Because I am very much committed to the issue of migration.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mamadou Tangara, highlights the need for a collaborative approach on how to address the situation, observing that Germany cannot forcefully send back Gambian migrants, considering that there are international laws and treaties that they have to respect.
To resolve these issues, to be able to speak with one voice. That's very, very important. And Germany, even if they have our Gambians, they cannot deport them. There are international law and treaties that they have to respect. That's why they are negotiating with us. And we almost understand also that all this discussion is fueled by the movement of the populace in Europe, who want to make people believe that all their problems are coming from the migrants, which is not true as well. Germany, you have a huge number of Gambians here, and I think we need to re-engage them. But COVID came and no one could move around. We need to sit and discuss with them and to find a solution. Because we cannot also continue to deny the fact that these are Gambians, we will not accept them. It's our duty to accept them. It's our responsibility to accept them. And they have a responsibility also to support us, because when these people were going, they did not go as criminals. Some of them became criminals in Europe. So they should help us integrate them. And what they call criminals also, not all of them are criminals, because even if you commit a traffic offense, they can classify you as criminal. That too, we have to be very careful. The hardcore criminals, they have to work with the Ministry of Interior, give them the necessary support. If we have that support, we are good.
The repatriation of Gambian migrants from Europe has triggered dissenting views among Gambians. The government of the Gambia said sometime last year that they will not accept a request of deportations, citing security concerns and the country's inability to reintegrate deportees. The decision has been intercepted as a move to boost electoral support in the just concluded presidential race of the country. The European Union has retaliated by suspending some provisions in the visa code for Gambians.